Okay. Thank you for all so much for the listening. And once again, a huge thank you to everyone to join us today for this special session. I'd like to express our sense appreciation to our wonderful guest speaker, Sam, for sharing such valuable insights with us. We hope today's webinar has been helpful and informative. So if you have any further questions, please feel free to reach out to IAE Global. So we'd like to more than happy to assist you. And please, so the Sam is Regional Manager, American and Southeast Asia International Recruitment Strategy, University of Lancashire. Today's we will be have the recording for the session. So if you not valuable to stay for the full webinar, if you would like to revisit any part later, so will be shared over to YouTube channel IAE Global UK. So together with the frequently asked and questions summaries based on today's discussion. So if you have any questions during the session, please feel free to type in them in the chat box. And if your question is related to everyone, will be addressed during the question and answer session at the end. For more special questions, we will do our best to answer them as we will be going. And of course, if you just like to say hello or share your thoughts, feel free to use the chat. We always love to hearing from you. So I will be beginning to share about a little bit brief introduce the IAE Global. So my name is Mimosa and marketing officers. And why choose IAE Global? So now let's talk a little bit. And IAE Global is founded in 1992. So now we over 30 years of experience in international education. So today we operate more than 40 offices across 10 countries, supported by a global team over 250 education experts. And also we work very closely with over 700 universities and colleagues all worldwide. So most importantly, everything we do is driven by a student's first mindset, ensuring personalized, high quality support at every step of the journey. So why do so many students choose to work with IAE Global? First, our global network means there's always a local team ready to support you. And second, we trust by the leading institutions across the UK, Australia, and New Zealand, Canada, and beyond. Third, we offer comprehensive support covering application and scholarships, accommodation, and aftercare services once you started to study. So, and finally, we provide tailored study plans support students from the high school through to the PhD level. So at IE Global, we do not just help students apply, we also help them to start to succeed. So our accreditation is a global recognition. So you may be wondering how we ensure such a high standard in everything we do. At IAE Global, quality and professionalism are extremely important to us. So over the years, we earned recognitions for some of the most respected or in international education. So we're proud to be accredited by the AIRC, a British boarding schools network, approved agent, a member of IEAA, ICEF accredited agency, a PRER certificate, and also a British Council recognized organization. We're also honored to be a Pioneer Award 2025 finalist recognized our commit to diverse, equal, and inclusion. So these accreditations ensure that the guidance you to receive from the IAE Global always meets strict professional and ethical standards. So where is IAE Global located? So one of IAE Global, the stress is our global presence. So we currently operated in the UK and Europe. So in the UK, we located in the King's Cross. So the other countries, we have the Australia, New Zealand, Canada, Japan, South Korea, Vietnam, Thailand, Nepal, Pakistan, and India, and more. So that means we are able to offer local support with a truly global perspective. So no matter where you are applying from, so our team understand your background, your education systems, and your study goals. How we help you apply your the study abroad can sometimes feel overwhelmed and some extremely so where we come in. So our process always begins with a personalized study plan. So we assess your academic background and truly goes to identify the most suitable pathway, whether the summer programs, pre-sessional English course, foundation, undergraduate, master, pre-master, or the PhD study. So once your courses is selected, we support you through every steps of the application process for personal statements and documentation to pre-course interview and offer management. So when you review your offer, we will be guide you through your course or COE and support and guide you with your students' ways application. So our role is really simple to make the process as smooth, clear, and stress-free as possible. At IE Global, our support doesn't stop after your application is submitted. So we also assist with accommodation, airport pickup, enrollments, and academic progressions planning. So even career development support such as internship and part-time the work guidance. So we also hold welcome events and on-campus meet and the students across the UK universities, also the students to connect to receive guidance and free support during their first step abroad. So from application to graduation, so and beyond, IE Global is always by your side. Over the years, we helped the thousands of students take the first step towards their dreams. Many of them have gone on the study at the most some of the world top universities from the Russell Group institutions here in the UK and to leading university in Australia, New Zealand, and Canada. Our students has achieved amazing things, and we couldn't to proud. So we also work closely with our partners universities to ensure the students do not just get accepted, they truly thrive. So our example, I really appreciate proud of our strong partnerships with University of Lancashire. And because of these partnerships, we already seen so many of our students take their very first step towards a bright and successful futures there. So if you are looking for clear and well-supported pathway from the foundation studies all the way to graduations and beyond, so remember IE Global together with our trust partners like the University of Lancashire is here to guide you every step to the way. So it's very big pleasure to share now the Sam Whiteside today. And so without the delays, I'd like to hand over to our guest speakers. Sam.
Thank you so much, Mimosa. Really appreciate the introduction. And thank you, everyone, for giving your time to me today. It's a real privilege, excuse me, for me to tell you a little bit about my university. As Mimosa mentioned at the beginning, I am the Regional Manager for International Student Recruitment, covering the Americas, Southeast and East Asia. So a very large remit, but I'm here to support you, just like how IAE supports you. I support them in ensuring that we kind of guide you through the whole process, give you information about the university so that you can make very informed decisions about your next study destination. This is the first time you're hearing about us. Where have you been? We've been around for 200 years nearly. It's coming up for our 200th anniversary in 2028. At the heart of our institution, it's always been a very technical, hands-on, leading to employability aimed institution, I would say. We teach here a lot of programs that give practical skills, lots of STEM-oriented courses, allowing us to supply the job market, the relevant job market, with qualified candidates when they graduate. We have 10 academic schools in total, and I would say that the vast majority does conform to the STEM criteria: engineering, computing, health sciences, medicine, veterinary medicine, forensics. We've got biomedical sciences, nursing, midwifery, dentistry, and so on. But we do have the arts, we do have humanities, psychology, we do have law and policing, we do have sports programs. So we have a great mixture. And we are very, very proud to be the largest higher education institution in the county of Lancashire, which gives us our name, and the third largest in the northwest of England. So we're very important to the community. What I'd love you to take away from today, if anything, are three key words to remember us by: accessible, affordable, and employable. We know that you have so many options. Imosa mentioned some in one of her previous slides: top UK universities, universities in Australia, New Zealand, Canada, and so on. Did you remember us by those three words: accessible, affordable, and employable? And I think we create a very unique environment for you, and one where you can be very successful. So as I mentioned, third largest university in the Northwest. We're home to around 39,000 students in total across all of our campus locations. We have 4 campus locations, 3 in the UK and 1 in Europe, on the island of Cyprus. But our main campus is where I'm sat today. The image you see behind me is our student centre in the city of Preston. And that's home to around 27,000 students. Around a quarter of our student population is international. That comes from around 120 different countries. So accessible to all from all over the world. And in terms of our course range, very accessible too. You can see around 550 plus courses across undergraduate or foundation, undergraduate, postgraduate, professional development, postgraduate research, and doctoral level programs. So it really is something for everyone here. We also have a very accessible, dedicated staffing. So that's across your professional services, people like myself, people in admissions, in student support, in finance and accommodation, but also all of your academic staff, your tutors, your coaches, your supervisors. So a really great body of people here to give you the success that you need. Accessible too, due to our location. I'm very, very biased about our UK locations because Preston, where I'm today, is halfway between Edinburgh and London on the main West Coast train line. We're actually only 2 hours by train from London, the fast train, and about 2.5 hours to Edinburgh. Manchester, around 35 minutes. Manchester Airport has a direct connection from Preston train station. Multiple trains per hour go to that airport. We're a city. City, though, is quite compact, home to around 150 to 200,000 people. The campus is right in the centre of the city, so everything is walkable. All of your teaching, accommodation, and sports facilities are in the city centre. You don't need to commute anywhere. Everything can be accessed on foot. And we're surrounded by countryside. We're surrounded by towns, villages, the coastline. So quintessential British elements that you might want to explore are all within touching distance. I think this makes us a fantastic location for students. And I'm very biased in believing that we are the best location for an international student who wants to not only get a great study environment, but also explore a little bit of our country, because everything is very accessible from where we are. In terms of the Preston campus, as I mentioned, right in the city centre, we're about 5 minutes from where I'm sat now in one of our oldest buildings, the Harris Building, home to the School of Law and Policing, and also to our architecture facility. We're literally I went at lunchtime today, we're about 5 minutes from the city centre on foot. We have lots of amenities in the city centre, so great restaurants, bars, nightlife, shops, bookstores, convenience stores, gaming stores, bowling alleys, multiplex cinema. There is so much on offer. We have a fantastic market, covered and open air market. We do weekly or monthly markets as well on our main city square. So we have so much within the city to offer you. We also not only have the cityscape, but we have the countryside surrounding us. We're home to a number of different parks, Avonham and Miller, Moore Park. These are two of the closest parks to campus, and Moore Park, on the other side of that, you'll find the football or soccer stadium, home to Preston North End, who are one of the oldest professional football teams in the world, dating back to the late 1800s. In fact, the first team to do what in this country, in England, is known as the League and Cup double, winning the top division and the FA Cup. So, very historic football team indeed. So there's lots for you to see and do in the city. It's a very, very affordable city. In fact, just to go back here, it's considered the best city to live and work in the Northwest. It's a great place to be a graduate as well if you want to base yourself here and have jobs in Manchester, Liverpool, London, Leeds. We are very, very accessible to all of those cities beyond your graduation. What you'll find, and something that I truly believe in here, bearing in mind that I'm not from the area. I moved to the area 7, 8 years ago now. Married my wife, who's from the local area. So she's born and raised in the north, and my daughter's born and raised in the north. But I'm not. What I found here was a very warm and hospitable welcome. The people here are extremely friendly. There is a great community spirit, something that I don't feel you will get everywhere. And I think this is very important, particularly for international students. You're leaving your safe space, your family, your friends, your community, and what you know best to come thousands of miles away and to have that network, to have that sense of home feeling, I think is very important. And I'm a big proponent of that here at the University of Lancashire. So for some of you, if you're considering studying health sciences, things like medical sciences or medicine, then you will spend some of your time while you're studying with us at our Burnley campus, which is around 30 kilometres to the east of the city of Preston. So it's still within the county of Lancashire. It's just on the eastern side of the county. I would personally say that the Burnley campus is very, very striking. It's built into some of the old industrial mills. Burnley was at the heart of the Industrial Revolution, with these mills producing goods transported all over the world. And we've converted and restored those mills to be our teaching spaces and maintained in some elements the machinery, or as you can see with this image here, the students walking across the bridge over the Liverpool-Leeds Canal, which runs through the heart of the campus, one of the old chimney stacks. Burnley is a town that still has plenty of amenities. Whilst it's smaller than Preston, it is a town that has lots of bars, restaurants, there's lots of green space and parks surrounding it because you're in the heart of the Pennines. It also has a football team, Burnley, who are currently in the Premier League. If you follow football, that's the top division, one of the world's most popular football divisions. And they compete against the likes of Manchester United, Manchester City, Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea, and alike. The campus in Burnley, including the accommodation, is also in the heart of the town. So that access that I mentioned about the university being very accessible is very prominent here too, because you can get to all of the amenities, all of your teaching buildings, your accommodation is on campus, and you will have that great sense of student community and student support in a very welcoming environment as well. Finally, for those of you considering studying medicine, then the West Lakes campus is a medicine-only facility where you'll spend some of your time, not all of your time, normally 1 or 2 years here at the West Lakes campus. This is up in the neighbouring county of Cumbria, which is to the north of us, on the edge of the Lake District National Park. That's England's largest national park. It's a beautiful part of the country. And if you are a student who's going to be based in Preston or Burnley, it's only 45 minutes away by train, if that. So again, a very accessible part of the country. West Lakes, though, is on the opposite side of the Lake District, on the coast, near to the town of Whitehaven. So it's a rural community, much quieter than Preston or Burnley. But for our medicine students who are obviously on a very intense program of study, it's a great site to be at, to kind of focus on your clinical skills, to focus on your placements, and to kind of get quite one-on-one tutoring, I would say, from when you're out and about with your placement supervisors. Still lots to do if if you're someone who wants to explore a little bit of the great outdoors. Being on the coast but surrounded by the mountains and hills up here in the north of England is fantastic. The campus is state of the art for you as medical students with all the facilities that you need and has accommodation on site as well. Whitehaven does have restaurants, does have supermarkets, so again, the amenities that you would need, and is quite a popular summer location as well, albeit being a much quieter part of the country. I mentioned we have 10 academic schools in order. We have the School of Arts and Media, the Business School, the School of Engineering and Computing, the School of Health, Social Work and Sport, the School of Law and Policing, the School of Medicine and Dentistry, the School of Nursing and Midwifery, the School of Pharmacy and Biomedical Science, the School of Psychology and Humanities, and the School of Veterinary Medicine. Now, if I was to talk about all of those schools and all of those courses, we would be here for a very long time. So I wanted to focus on just a few of our kind of key highlights, things that we're very well known for. So we're ranked second in the country for forensic science and crime scene investigation. We have fantastic facilities. If you're someone who wants to go into the detective field, if you're into forensics, anthropology, analysis when it pertains to the law, then we have a crime scene village. These are simulated crime scene spaces, everything from a burnt out flat to a bomb making facility, drug den, homicides. You're doing fingerprint analysis, blood spatter analysis, gunned out cars. It is honestly like a scene out of a detective TV series or movie. And it really does give you that first-hand experience, trained and taught by some of the Northwest's most senior former crime scene investigators and police officers, people who've been a part of, Manchester Police Force, Liverpool Police Force, and had to, be involved in some quite gritty crime scenes. They're teaching you, they're giving you all the skills and knowledge that they know, obviously in a safe environment, but a state-of-the-art environment. I mentioned that we're very STEM oriented. Our Engineering Innovation Centre is a standalone building, home to 5 floors of various labs, workshops, simulations. So we have our flight simulators, our motorsport simulators for the motorsport engineering students. We have our drone facility where we have all of our drone simulators, but also our your ability to fly, make your own drones and rockets. Students go to various competitions with those as well. We have fire labs for fire safety testing. We have 3D printing. We have metalworking, fabrication, welding. We have our architecture suite. So there is something for all of the engineers, and then all the computer labs as well for the cybersecurity students, the AI students, the data science students. So great facilities there. I'm very fond of the arts and media scene here at the university. The Northwest, after London, is the second most valuable arts scene in this country, generating in excess of £15 billion to the economy every single year. The BBC, for example, moved all of their facilities up to Manchester, up to Media City and Salford Quays, so you can understand the importance of this area to the arts. And we have everything from your traditional art forms, so fine art, illustration, graphics, ceramics, screen printing. We're number 1 in the country for fashion promotion. We have fashion design, we have interior design, photography. And it's great because in the art school, all of those students are learning in the same building, using the same facilities, gaining experience from each other, working together. Your photography students taking photos for the fashion students, the graphic students helping design marketing plans, for the fine art students. There's so much great collaboration that goes on. And then we have our second building, the Media Factory, which is home to all of our green screens, film studios, recording studios, sound production facilities, and then our performance spaces for those doing acting or musical theatre. So there's so much in the art scene at this university. It's a very collaborative school. Our newest school is the veterinary school. The school is now into its 4th year of teaching. Teaching our veterinary medicine students, those who want to become vets, and then our bioveterinary science students, those who aren't interested in becoming a vet but want to work with or within an animal setting. Fantastic facilities, again, recently opened by Her Royal Highness the Princess Anne. And these facilities provide students with hands-on experience with domesticated animals. And we work with a local land-based college for you to get access to larger animals such as cattle, horses, sheep. So you're really getting a full experience for your future career. Now, accommodation, this is where we move into realms of the affordable. So a lot of what I've just talked about is accessible, how accessible we are as a location, as an institution with our courses, range of facilities. Affordability-wise, we're in the top 10 for most affordable student accommodation in the United Kingdom, with prices from £87 per week, which includes all of your utility bills. That's half the national average. All of your accommodation is on campus, whether it's here at Burnley or at Westlakes, fully secure 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, with pastoral support available for all residents as well. We have self-catered halls, so the halls all have a shared kitchen, and then you have options for ensuite, so private bathroom or shared bathroom options. All of our bedrooms, though, are private, so you don't bunk with anybody else. Your room, the picture you're seeing here on screen, is a room for one individual, and that is how our accommodation is. We are quite flexible with accommodation requests. If you want to be housed with people who are doing the same course as you, from the same country as you, same sex as you, then absolutely we will take those into consideration. In terms of supporting students, a little bit then again on the accessible is we have a top-rated student support structure at the university, third in the UK for mental health support and first for student welfare. So all students, irregardless of the program of study, get an academic advisor and tutor, someone to help coach you through your studies. It's anything to do with essay writing, exam prep, project work, careers development, where you want to go, do you want to do placements, what modules you want to pick, they're there for you. You then have our dedicated counselling and mental health support staff. They're available from our student centre to ensure your well-being. We also have a multi-faith centre on campus with members of different religious hierarchies, Christian, Islamic, Jewish, all here, but also for those of you that are of no faith, if you want to use the space for mindfulness, if you need help and advice, then they're there for you too. We have a pro bono law advice clinic, so a free to use legal advice clinic on campus, dedicated international student support team. We have our own doctor's surgery and pharmacy on campus, the medical care and attention. Any of you who require extra support services for any form of disabilities, our inclusive nature is very apparent here. We'll make any amendments or adjustments that you require for us. You just let us know at time of application and we will start the support process from then. If you're someone who wants to be active and you want to get involved in the community, you have sports and societies. So our sports facilities on campus here in Preston, we have a dedicated gym. You have access to gyms at both Whitehaven and in Burnley. The sports arena here in Preston is the only facility that's not in the city centre, but it's about 5 minutes, about 2 miles away from the campus. You can walk it, but also we have a free shuttle bus that takes you there for games and training throughout the week. So that sports arena has all of our grass pitches for football, rugby. We've got the all-weather pitches for hockey, for American football, for cricket. We've got a full athletics track. We have a cycle track. We've got tennis courts up there. So there's loads of great facilities. There's a number of different sports clubs that you can join for fun or to be competitive. You can have access to fitness classes in our sports centre on campus here in Preston. So that has squash courts, badminton courts, basketball courts. It's got the fully fitted gym, various training studios for spinning, Zumba, Pilates, yoga, and so on. It's £99 to join the sports team here at the university, and that covers you for the whole year and is inclusive of all the classes. We have a number of societies also that you can join that are special interest groups. So a great student community if you want to get involved. And then from an employability perspective, we want our students to go on to get great jobs and obviously be connected with us long term so we can celebrate the great careers you go on to have after leaving us. So you do have lifelong career support as a graduate of the university. Within the university, we put on a number of different careers events. I think last year alone, we put on 13 different careers events, allowing our students to meet in excess of 250 different employers. So we are giving you great access to internships, to long-term employment or part-time employment whilst you're studying. We have 5-star QS ratings for employability, and 68% of all of our students graduate with top honours. but that is higher for our international students alone. So it's around 85 to 90% for our international students, which just shows the great work that you guys as international students do and your commitment to your study with us. Now, how can you apply, or what do you need to apply? Well, the team at IAE Global can support you. As Mimosa already mentioned, they have a great team of counsellors and advisors across the world that can help submit your application to the University of Lancashire. When you're talking to their advisors, ensure that you have these documents provided to them so they can make an application on your behalf. And here at the university, I can then support in getting you a quick turnaround on your offer. So as long as we've got copies of your academic transcripts with final or predicted grades, a personal statement with your motivations for study, evidence of English language, all of this, by the way, is available on our website in terms of type of certificates you need and the requirements that we have, depending on the country you're coming from. And then references, referees, signed, dated, and on letterhead from school or company, if professional. If you're looking at things like arts and media, there are portfolio requirements. For some programs like medicine, physiotherapy, veterinary, we do interviews online or in person. And some programs just require us to send your application to an admissions tutor for a final review. Admissions, when they process your application, would let you know if there's anything additional that they need. But if you can provide the counsellors at IAE with this information up front, it just allows us to make a quicker turnaround on your offer. Now, we have a range of fees. The fees will be listed on the individual course pages, but our range is between 17,750 and 19,500 for undergraduate, and just slightly more, 18,750 to 19,500 for postgraduate. In terms of tuition fee discounts, a number of countries across the world, we have country bursaries. These are automatic tuition fee discounts that range between £1,000 and £3,000 and are applicable to each year of study. Depending on your academic merit from your either your pre-university study, so high school study, or if you're coming to us for postgraduate study, whatever your undergraduate degree has led to in terms of your grades, we may be able to up the scholarship with our excellence, which is £3,500. So the maximum we can offer is £5,500 in total as tuition fee discounts, and all the scholarship details and your eligibility are on your individual country pages. If you do have any questions, I'm available now. Obviously, we're very happy to answer any questions you may have, but you can also reach out to the team at IAE Global or myself. My contact details are here. My email address is one of the best ways of getting in contact with me, and I'm very, very happy to support and speak to you. I can see a good first question. Thank you, Taiwo. How easy is it to find part-time jobs while studying? So here in the UK, you may or may not be aware that you can work part-time on your student visa up to 20 hours per week. Here in Preston, we have a number of industries. There's lots of restaurants, there's lots of shops. We can never guarantee that students are able to get a job, but we do have job fairs at the beginning of the year. So during our kind of induction orientation week in September, where you can meet different employers, and they always have up in the careers area of the student centre a jobs board where all the latest jobs are available that you can apply for. And the team there in careers can support you as well. If you're new to applying to a job, you may not have had to do that before. They can help you understand what you need, how to write a covering letter for a job application. They can do job application support and even sit there and do it with you. So I'd say we provide you with all the tools necessary. And in terms of internships in placement years, yes, we do within the schools. So it depends obviously on the course. But if you were, let's say, in engineering, we would have a number of different internship opportunities for you. That being said, if you came to the school and said, I've got an internship, as in I know somebody or I know a company that I could do an internship with, could I do that? Then you could bring that to your academic tutor and suggest it, and they would work with you to ensure that that internship was suitable, met our requirements so that you can obviously be assessed on it, and you could do that. So we don't just restrict you to the internships that we have available. If you are somebody who has connections or you make connections and want to do an internship in something slightly different, then we can support you with that. Good question, Mariam, in terms of which programs at the university have strong employment outcomes. So medicine, we have 100% employment rate for our medicine students when they leave us. So that is very, very strong. In terms of engineering, we do have great links to local industry. So BAE Systems, British Aerospace, is a massive employer here in the Northwest with two sites either side of the university in villages about 6 miles either side of the university. So engineering does have great employment track records. I'd say that in terms of sports provision, we have some great links into various football clubs. So we have students who've gone on to work for Liverpool, Manchester United, Manchester City, Everton, Preston, Burnley, and even to teams overseas as well. So there are probably a few that I know off the top of my head that are very, very strong in terms of their employment outcomes. Business also. So we have a great business school with great links into industry, but also for students who study business. In fact, any student, you don't just have to study business. We do support entrepreneurship here. So if you're someone who wants to create your own business and leave the university with that already kind of in place, then we do have a a business hub is the right word I'm looking for. We have a business startup hub on the campus that you can utilize the services of. Good question, Ziyu. Yes, we do provide career fairs and networking events for companies. So, what the careers team do, they will do kind of general overall careers fairs, not necessarily specific to a school. And then they ensure that throughout the academic year, they plan events dedicated to a certain industry. So they will do, a careers fair for students who are in studying arts and media programs. They'll do a careers fair. Excuse me. Bless me. So sorry. They'll do a careers fair for our students doing business study programs. They will do a careers fair for engineering. They will do a careers fair for health provision. They'll do a careers fair for law provision. So they can tailor it throughout the year. We do kind of fun activities. So we do in America, it's called Shark Tank. In the UK, it's called Dragon's Den. So for you to pitch a business idea to different companies for them to invest in you. We do meeting with different companies where you can pitch yourself to different employers to gain internships or to gain graduate employment. So they're very, very good in the careers area at doing that. We also have our global opportunities team. So, for example, if you're here and you're doing a 3 year undergraduate degree and you're wondering what to do in your summer break, our global opportunities team put on fairs where they bring in different employers for summer internships. So the likes of Camp America, if you want to go spend a summer being a camp counselor, if you want to do volunteering in Southeast Asia or Africa, if you want to do internships in Japan, or if you want to do internship in Barcelona in Spain, you want to do internship in Singapore. We have amazing connections. And so we bring those companies onto campus for you to learn a little bit more about them and for you to potentially look to do those internships or summer camps. So there's always something going on. So if there are, what is the average living cost? Great question, Harsh. So I would say that I always kind of joke. It depends on what type of student you are. Are you a beans and toast student or are you a caviar and lobster student? It's very dependent on you. I think you've seen how affordable our accommodation is. So if you accommodation at £87 per week, that's roughly, let's say 400, it's just under £400 a month in living costs. Then your food spend, I don't know about you, but I'm a family of three. So me, my wife, and my daughter and two cats, and we probably spend per week on groceries anywhere between 60 and £80 per week. So that's for three people. So let's say, for example, you spend £50 per week for one person, that's £200. So that's £600. A bit of social spend, let's say £100. Maybe look at any, I would always say to students, maybe between £600 and £800 a month in Preston and the Northwest is more than affordable. But obviously, you might want to spend a bit more if you're exploring, if you're taking the train, maybe up to 1,000. But I'd say you could be quite comfortable on between £600 and £800 a month. So, good question from Jun. If a student's academic background is slightly below the requirements, are there alternative pathways? Yes. So, we do have a foundation provider. CEG On Campus UK North is based here at our university. So, you can do a foundation pathway with them. Some of our programs, some of our own taught programs, do have a foundation option with them. So, you could do a 4 year bachelor degree. And for those, we do have lower entry requirements. Now, it does depend on what country you're coming from as to whether or not we can accept you onto those. But our admissions team would advise you on whether we could accept you for that or whether they would advise you to go down the external foundation provider route. We also accept qualifications from various foundation providers across the world, from various international curriculums, such as A levels or IB or AP curriculum. So there's a number of different qualifications you can use. Again, something that I think makes us very accessible because we are flexible. In terms of what makes a strong application, I would say, knowing just a little bit about us, when you're writing your personal statement is a good thing to make you stand out. We know that students are applying to lots of different universities, and in this day and age with AI, it's very easy, of course, to type into an AI platform, write me a personal statement, and it not be true and authentic. We don't ask for essays, reams and pages and thousands of words. One solid page, 1.5, two maximum solid pages about you, your motivations, what you've learned so far, and why you are wanting to go into the area of study you are, and how we fit into that just by looking at our course page. So, for example, if you were looking at sports journalism, let's say, for an example, Bachelor of Sports Journalism, if you read our page on sports journalism, you would find that we do offer an internship with Chelsea Football Club in one of the summers between your first and second years. So if if you're someone who aspires to be a top sports journalist, having just read that on our website and referring to that in your personal statement makes you stand out because it makes us know that you've considered how we can help you, how we can be of benefit to you career-wise.
Oh, thank you so much, Sam. I think that is insightful, the presentation, and answer all the questions. Oh, we have one more.
So, good question, Huang. Is it better to stay in student accommodation or private rented house? So, as international students, you're guaranteed a room in student accommodation in your first year with us. So, we're saying to you, what we're saying is, you definitely have a room. Now, if you don't want to stay in that accommodation, then there are lots of private accommodations around the campus. We have an abundance of different types of flats and apartments. So, if we don't have something that you desire or doesn't meet your needs, then you do have plenty of options. But I just want you to know you do have that guarantee in the first year. Second and third years, if you're on bachelor degrees and you're staying for longer, you can apply to go back into our student accommodation if you've enjoyed that and you want to stay in that type of environment. But you're just not given the guarantee because we have to guarantee it for the new incoming students. And what we tend to find is a lot of students make their friendship groups, and then in the second year, the third year of those bachelor degrees, they go into private accommodation. We have a dedicated accommodation page on our website, which lists all of our different types of accommodation, but also a list of approved, well, not necessarily even approved, just recommended local providers so that again, we're giving you that support to know, okay, if I'm looking on Google or any other type of search engine or map and I'm finding different accommodation blocks, do the University of Lancashire recommend them? Am I confident that if I get a room in that the university have said that's a good option? So it's personal preference, but you do have that guarantee of accommodation when you first come to us. You're welcome.
Yeah, I think everyone's found this extremely helpful to learn more about the University of Lancashire, especially about the fun and friendly and safety, the cities study in the Preston campus and the Burnley campus and the vibrant students community, also a quite rural campus in West Canberra and just 3 miles from the Lancashire. So that is comprehensive the personal and well-being to support to the international student to study at the University of Lancashire. So if you are very interested for the University of Lancashire, also they have auto scholarship, £5,500 scholarships support to the international students. So we welcome to apply for the Lancashire. If you have more questions, please do not hesitate to contact IE Global team. We'll be answer all the questions after the webinar. Let me share. Okay. So you can follow us the social medias, the Xiaohongshu and the YouTube. So today's our the recording the videos will be shared on our YouTube channel, IE Global UK. Also, you can follow us the IE Global the UK Instagram and Facebook and TikTok and LinkedIn. If you have any questions, you can email to us admin@ieuk.net. Also, you can call to us. We'll be very happy to answer all the questions for you. Thank you, Sam. Thank you, everyone, to join with us today, and hopefully, help for knowing more about the University of Lancashire today.
Thank
Thank
you, everyone. It's great
you.
to have been
Thank
speaking
you.
to you.